Hello everyone and welcome back. It's Figure Friday, so here we are. We're looking at one of the Crimson Guards. I only have one of these. Quite often with a lot of the Cobra kind of troopers or whatever, if I can catch them on sale or whatever, I'll try to pick up two. My hope is at some point, if I'm doing this as a role-playing game, I'm going to have them kind of sitting there as the bad guys, so if you have two of them, you can say, you're ambushed by two, and then one Crimson Guard like this, he could be like the person in command, right? But it is an interesting looking figure. I'm sure that there's some copied pieces from something or other or whatever else. I don't know. I know some people kind of go into all that, but I just look at it as what it is itself. It's a nice, standard, interesting figure here. We do have a nice little backstory on here. The Crimson Guard are the elite shock troops of the Cobra Legions. Too precious to be wasted on the battlefield. They are dispersed worldwide in deep cover, assuming normal appearances and lifestyles. So, when you have the Crimson Twins, Tomax and Xamot and their groups, we have, to say it in the regards of, everybody's got their own kind of shock troopers and everything else. And the Crimson Twins themselves, they don't actively get into a lot of battles. From what I do remember of a lot of the cartoons, they will fight from time to time and all that. They like to move things in the shadows a little bit more. If push comes to shove, they are kind of dangerous adversaries and all that, but if they can, they prefer to really just kind of move things in the background. They will finance things. They will use their troops if they have to. They'll pay other people to do things for them. Most notably, when we talk about the Red Rocket issue, they paid motorcycle gangs and all that to kind of rough up owners of the Red Rockets, and then one of their actual troopers was the salesman trying to buy back the Red Rockets from whoever had bought them. So, trying to use people in different regards, and I'm kind of knocking the camera here. It does make a lot of sense to me, and it brings off different dynamics in the entire Cobra mechanism here. Trying to, one of the things I had talked about in one of my other videos, who is Cobra? You break it down of, okay, everybody's got their different corporations. Are they doing things that are getting government contracts, stuff like that? Looking at things in those regards, it really does begin to see how things kind of keep rolling. In the cartoon, they're always broke. They're always trying to figure out how to finance the next big thing. And it makes sense if you're not actively figuring out how to get a passive income from a criminal organization. You're always behind the eight ball trying to figure out exactly how to get that next paycheck to fund your next big world takeover. Tanks and all that cost money to buy, to operate, and all that. So here we are. As I go crinkles. Okay. So again, I think Tomax and Xamot may have the most amount of money outside of Zartan himself, or not Zartan, Destro. Zartan probably has a bunch of money because he keeps getting paid in gold. And I don't think he really seems like he spends all that much. I think a lot of his money just kind of comes from Cobra themselves and how they finance things and everything else. And in the cartoon, at least, they do have Zartan played off as somewhat of a scientist as well as a kind of interesting brute. So that adds different dynamics in there that, I really try to encompass into how things go. And when we create worlds and we do things, it is interesting to see that. We do have a nice scabbard for his sword. So one of the few characters we actually get with swords. And of course, for the Crimson Guard, I think it's really more of a showpiece because they are essentially like the elite graduation or graduating class members from the Cobra Academies, and going from there. So it's got a nice little pistol here, a nice scabbard, or a scabbard holster, as we have the scabbard for the sword, and his knife scabbard here as well, or sheath. So, and going through it, I mean, we do have the standard ankles, so we can do that. Kind of forward and back. His ankle's really stiff. I don't know if everyone's is going to be that way or not. I don't think he's got as much movement here because the way the boot is. It just doesn't seem like he's got as much movement. Maybe it's just the one. This one moves a little bit better. So maybe it's just that 1 foot. So, and then let's see. We do have some movement here, but this kind of comes up around. So if you're trying to really kink his foot out here or whatever for planting a wallop on someone, it may not move as good. This one moves a little bit better, but still you only have a limited amount, which is fine. And we do have that double knee design again, so that's kind of nice. So you can stretch his leg out if you really need him to, or whatever. That great maneuverability that we've been having. And of course, then we have our thigh twist. So if you want to just try and twist his foot out here, and kind of pose him up here like he's about to maybe fight. And he's got the double elbows here, and he has the upper arm twist. My mind is not working here this morning. I do apologize. And his wrists move pretty good. Although he's got this flange here, which is kind of nice, but then that means that you lose bringing your wrist back here. So if it's back this way, it can kind of come back a little bit, but not as much as what we've had on some of the others. So just how that sits. And his torso, I mean, he can kind of do some pretty good sit-ups here. As he's kind of reaching for his toes, maybe? Maybe we can have him reach for his toes. Come on, reach for the toes. Come on, Cobra Trooper, Crimson Trooper, you gotta pass that PT test. Alright, so now he's trying to do sit-ups. Okay. And it works pretty good. I think it looks good. Just kind of pulling here, the joint kind of comes down. There's like an extra little bit of a joint here, so depending on what you're trying to do, just trying to get it so he looks good. Alright, and he does have a nice Crimson Guard emblem here on his shoulder. And he's got the sash there. That's a little separate, so be careful that we don't break that off. It really looks nice. He's got that nice... I'd like to get a belt like this myself or something like that for doing a Star Wars or something cosplay. I think that would be interesting. Alright, so we do have the M16. I don't know if the magazine comes out. Let's go take a peek. Yes, it does. So if you want him to reload his rifle, he's got that. M16A2 from the looks of it. Pull that back. We do have the plunger on the side because sometimes if you don't clean good enough, that bolt gets some sand or grud in there. And you have to plunge that forward. The bayonet there, I don't remember what the designation number was for that when I had one. But this is more the kind of, I would say, like the M4 look to it. This is a little bit smaller here. This doesn't go all the way out, but anyways, still pretty nice. Comes with the sword. We already had the pistol and the knife there. This is a little on the flexible side. Good, bad, indifferent. Doesn't seem to be all that bad to me. Okay, and then we have his backpack, so we could put the rifle here, and if this works out the way I think it does, we could actually put right there for the trigger, this trigger assembly guard. So we could set that in there. Oh, his scabbard fits in on the other side. So that sits there. This is all nice, one nice big block. I don't think it opens. That would actually be something nice and neat if they would, because I mean we have the size here. If we could have it so this opens, and we could actually put some stuff inside there, that would be kind of nice. And that fits onto his back pretty good. So there we are. All in all, not bad. Nice stunning look to him. He's got the nice emblems here. Looks like he's large and in charge, some sort of officer. The nice, helmet covering the face up and all that. I don't know how good the visibility actually would be in there, but this is all Fantasyland, so here we are. It's interesting how we have like the air vents on the side as well as right in front of the nose and the mouth, giving us a little bit better chance for hearing maybe, as well as for breathing. But unfortunately, once you start putting all that on, then if someone's behind you, you may not hear them as well. So, but yeah, he looks real nice. Hopefully you guys are seeing all this, and it looks real good for you guys too. It has a nice standard operation here. He does have that second joint here in his shoulder, so you can kind of kink that back maybe if you want him to. Although it did come forward here and trying to reach around, so I can try and grab the sword or whatever. Does add a little extra maneuverability there, so when you're trying to pose them, hopefully that helps you out. I know there's a lot of guys that are actually making dioramas out of all this. Then there's others of us that are putting them in either boxes or on the shelves if you can properly display them. Unfortunately, I don't have that at the moment, and I don't wish anything bad to my rabbits, but at some point when they go, then I will get some shelving up there, but that's in years to come. That is nothing I am hoping for anytime soon. They are lovable little buggers. So, all right. Well, with that, here we are. Nice Crimson Guard to add to our force here for Cobra. I know I have Tomax and Xamot floating around here somewhere, so we'll get them all met up. And then I know I have some other Crimson. I think it's Crimson Vipers. So I have the 2 Crimson Vipers. I have him to be their commander, and then of course we have Tomax and Xamot. I don't remember if I picked up any of the Crimson Bats or not. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't remember. So, all right. Oh, and the other nice thing is he came with. I wish they did this even with all the other boxed ones. It's nice when we have the plates here, so that way they can stand on the plates. There we are. If I can get the feet in here. And with the old Joes, it was right in between where the boot and all that was, but now that they're bigger, they can actually sit up a little better. It's nice having the plates there, that way you can put them there, especially if we're going to do this as a role-playing game. That way I can kind of move them out there and say, hey, this is what you guys see. There's a part of me that thinks that even for doing Fallout, the only problem is now you have to have bigger dioramas. And I'm doing everything on my pool table, so, what do you do? We'll figure this all out. We'll have fun with it. That's the important thing. We have fun. So, all right. Well, thanks for visiting. Hope you have a wonderful time. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next video.